Hello on February the 16th, 2024. In a moment, you'll listen to a podcast, which is much better to listen than to watch. But if you happen to watch, forgive me this picture, which will appear here in a moment. I still learn how to record videos. This podcast is mainly for people who live in Poland but do not speak Polish. If you want to listen to my Polish podcast, you'll find the link below in the description. Today, I will talk about Fit for 55 package. I will try to explain it in very simple words, what it means for your buildings and your apartments, and it doesn't matter if you rent or own the property. Let me say in the beginning that these podcasts are prepared based on two sources. The first one, binding laws and regulations, I mean internal Polish regulations or European Union regulations binding in Poland. And two, scientifically proven facts. I give you my opinions based on these two sources. So you can disagree with my opinions, but you cannot change the facts. And this is something I encourage you to do. Don't take my words for granted. Check the facts, read the regulations, and compare your opinions with mine. But there are people all around us who utter their opinions as if they were facts. Especially politicians are good in this, or propagandists. Such people are usually very self confident, loud, relentless, or they use those manipulation techniques of some kind. In a way, they are not willing to exchange opinions and learn from other people. These days, it is extremely important to know the difference between a fact and an opinion. Um, Don't you think that we have recently gone crazy in this public space? Some of us believe that if two scientists quarrel, it means that they are free to rely on their own attitudes and it is approved by science because they are scientists. Actually, this is completely different in science. It's not enough to be a scientist and to utter opinions. The scientists have always had arguments, but their arguments were about the future possible outcomes. And it's like this also today. Um, their arguments are not about the already verified facts. Scientists have bets which they uh, either lose or win, but they never undermine the proven facts. Based on the facts, they may have assumptions about the future scenarios of events, and this is their right because they are only human beings just like all of us. So let's draw a line between scientific assumptions about the future and the already verified facts. These days, we all have access to facts, graphs, tables, digits, photos, and films. So yes, it's good to have different opinions about the facts, but it's very bad to deny the facts. We cannot say that the global warming has nothing in common with human activity because it's no longer a question of an opinion. It's a fact. The same facts as the one that the Earth is cruising around the sun. So let's sum it up. Yes, the global warming is caused by human activity. It's a scientifically proven fact. And now I can talk about Fit for 55 because it is all about this fact that the global warming is caused by human activity, and Fit for 55 is trying to actually, I believe that it will be effective, and it's trying to avoid the catastrophe. So Fit for 55 has nothing in common with the year 2055 or the age of 55. No, it's a kind of life rescue boat for humankind. Let's imagine that all inhabitants of planet Earth swim in a giant boat, but unfortunately it's heading straight at a rock. So Fit for 55 is a package of directives and regulations which will eventually, but forcefully and quite rapidly, change the direction of our Titanic on which we all are, and it will make a slight move. It will move away slightly from that rock, the name of which is climate catastrophe. So, thanks to Fit for 55, possibly instead of crashing with that rock, we will be bruised, but at least we will survive. And this is the target of these regulations, to save the humankind against the catastrophe. And even if it's a European package, European regulations, it influences the whole world because of the trading system, plus other countries and other continents also have their own quite similar regulations. Here in Europe, we have Fit for 55. And let's talk numbers. Fit for 55 means that we should be ready to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases by 55% by 2030 in comparison to the year 1990. It means that we only have 6 years to do it, but it's not the end of that rescue mission. It's only an introduction, frankly speaking, because we need to stop emitting greenhouse gases until 2050. And this is quite real with Fit for 55. So there is still a chance that the future generations will survive. Of course, the Earth itself is not eternal, and one day it will get old and transform with the whole solar system, and it will disappear somehow. But it's not its time yet. Many generations have the chance to live on Earth and enjoy their lives, examine the universe, answer existential questions, solve the mystery of time or human consciousness, and many others. So, this is the historical moment now. The last call. The scientists are absolutely positive about it. This podcast is about buildings and apartments, but it will constantly remind you, I will constantly remind you about the reasons why there are so many changes in the regulations for the building industry. And there will be even more regulations. There will be new taxes and new restrictions on using coal and fossil fuels in our households. And this will happen in the next 6 years. Uh, so it's not only in the European Union, and it's not the European Union fantasy. It's an attempt to create a roadmap to our survival. We will get huge amounts of money to deal with the costs of this energy transformation. The companies and household owners, they will receive financial support. Especially the poorest people will get the support. Poland will get even more than other countries in the European Union because we rely on coal so much. So we have a lot to do. To encourage to invest in renewable energy sources, Poland will get about 10 billion euros to prevent the climate catastrophe. Eventually, we will all heat our houses and apartments so that we do not emit greenhouse gases at all. And this is something we should all be happy about. If somebody complains about Fit for 55 or ETS2, it's like a turkey complaining that somebody wants to cancel the Thanksgiving. Actually, I will talk about ETS2 in the next videos to come. So I hear a lot of doubts and questions like, but does it pay? Well, it's not a does it pay issue, it's to be or not to be. We should not ask whether it pays or not. The whole energy transformation, it's not because it's cheaper, but because it's the only way to rescue the civilization the way it functions nowadays. European Union knows this, and not only. All countries of the world know this, also China and India. What's interesting, the European Union does not tell us to switch off grid and to go back to the caves. Actually, it might work the best for our survival, but we don't want it. We want it all. We wish to survive and have the current in our sockets, hot water, and the internet. So if we want to have all this, we need to acknowledge the scientifically proven facts. I know it's not enough to talk about Fit for 55, but these videos will continue and further later I will go into more details. I will show you some numbers. I know that the quality of these videos needs a lot of improvement. I removed this picture. This is the first step. There will be many, many more. Bye.